So recently I've been hearing a lot of things about Reno, Nevada disappearing all their homeless people. They don't have camps downtown anymore. Homeless people aren't everywhere. And of course, Reno is on the rise once again. So I decided to go down there and walk around the downtown area. Now, obviously, the homeless people did not disappear 100%. If you go to any city in the United States right now, you're going to find a good amount of homeless people. But after walking around downtown in Reno, I gotta tell you, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It looks like Reno, Nevada is trying to revitalize their tourist area, which is downtown and at the riverwalk. They've got a long ways to go. They've got a lot of boarded up shops, but I didn't see one homeless camp or tent downtown. So, yesterday I went down to the Riverwalk and it was so windy, half the stuff I filmed was not good. Today it's a little better. It is colder, so they've shut down the river. Oh, here's a guy running. Maybe they didn't shut down this part, but that whole area over there, they shut that down. So after talking to a couple of police officers, I found out that the reason I'm not seeing a terrible amount of homeless people around the Riverwalk area is the town or the city passed an ordinance that they can't be within like 1,000 feet of the Riverwalk. So they're all out on other streets, like I think he said one was like 18th or something like that. He named a couple streets I should look at. I wrote them down, but I don't feel like getting them in my pocket right now. So this is Reno, Nevada. And all in all, I mean, it's kind of depressing. The downtown kind of sucks. Oh yeah, I guess this is open over here. I shouldn't say it sucks. It's just frickin' vacant. Granted, we're not in the height of this tourist season or anything like that. We're, what is this? End of March. So it's a little colder. I don't know if skiing is still as big as it normally would be or during their peak season, but there's a lot of empty shops around here. All in all, I've seen bigger crowds at a quinceañera in Southern California. And I know that's going on throughout the United States, but right now, I wasn't expecting it in Reno. They do look like they're trying to revitalize the place, and there's a lot of construction going on, a lot of buildings are being refurbished, and I see city workers everywhere. But all in all, it's a pretty vacant city. I mean, right now it's Friday afternoon. I think it's around 4 o'clock, 4:30. There's no one on the streets hardly. And the casinos are right down the street here. There's the big Reno sign, which I filmed yesterday. But all in all, it's pretty dead down here. Hey, look at that giant whale. All right, forget about the whale. Let's move on. I don't know. I'm not trying to compare it to Vegas or anything like that, but you'd think it would have a little bit of the Vegas love. I was here 5 years ago, but I really didn't hang out much. The last time I was really here and really hung out was about 20 years ago. So Reno only has a population a little over 260,000, with the whole metro area having just under 500,000. It's a lot smaller than I think a lot of people think it's going to be as far as population goes, but they got nice mountain views, right? So that makes up for any shortage in population. Now the thing about Reno is they gained 30,000 between the 2010 and 2020 census. So for a city that was somewhat on the decline during that time, that's not a bad number. But yeah, it's not as cool as I thought it was going to be. I mean, I just had this image of it before. when I spent like a week here doing comedy, and yeah, it just doesn't seem like it anymore.
Now, what you guys can't hear right now is that homeless gentleman over there with the birds. He was talking to him, but he seems to be happy. Now, like I'd said, they have an ordinance where they can't set up camps or sleep near the riverwalk. They can walk by, hang out, have a seat, whatever, just no setting up camp. This is typical of any city in the United States. You got any kind of plaza that's got some cement, you're gonna have skateboarders. Good for them.
So if you want to move to Reno, compared to places like Los Angeles, San Francisco, it is reasonable, I guess you could say. It's definitely not as expensive as some of those places, but if you compare it to, Phoenix, I guess Phoenix, they're pretty close. But if you compare it to like Salt Lake City, it's gonna be a little cheaper here, I think. If you compare it to states in the South, yeah, this place is expensive. But if you compare it to cities out west, yeah, it's pretty cheap. Gentleman was just talking to the pigeons over there. And I mean a full conversation with the pigeons. Now he's off to find some more pigeons. They all ran away. I guess they'd heard that story before or something. Who knows?
Throw your shot off, sir.
Ah, it's okay. I have plenty of footage. How you doing?
Good, how you doing?
Tell you one thing I learned, the cops were awfully friendly. They were nice. No attitude whatsoever. Actually seemed like they had some customer service skills in their past.
This is the Truckee River, and it runs through parts of California and Nevada, stretching about 121 miles as it winds its way northeast. It's actually the only river that flows out of Lake Tahoe, cutting through the Sierra Nevada before ending up at Pyramid Lake out in the Great Basin. Along the way, the river plays a big role in keeping the farms in nearby areas watered. So yeah, it's kind of a big deal for irrigation around this part of the country. Runs right through Truckee, California, which is one of my favorite towns in California.
Oh, wow. The Wiz is playing here. Broadway show now. I think it was before, but they had that movie in the 1970s, early 80s, whenever it was. Michael Jackson, Nipsey Russell, Diana Ross. I'm not a musical guy, but I'm not into musicals, but yeah, that one was really good. I remember as a kid. So this is apparently Pioneer Center. And if you aren't familiar with this, it's like everything out west in Oregon, Washington, here in Reno, Nevada, Sacramento, they all have something called Pioneer Square, Pioneer Circle. There's a pioneer mixed in there someplace. I think I just watched a drug deal. That was exciting. This is like Motel Row here. I mean, I've walked about 6 blocks down the road and I've probably seen 10 motels and about 20 tattoo places, it seems like. Yeah, probably only about 4 tattoo places, but still.
So I wandered into the neighborhoods off of South Virginia Street just to see what the homes look like, and they look pretty decent. In this part of Reno, which is Midtown, it looks like the lowest you're going to get a home over here for is about $400,000. And right now, the most expensive house in Midtown is $725,000. So it's not terrible. The neighborhoods look nice. I'd live here.
I'm still surprised Ace Hardware is still open. As far as motels go, this one looks pretty nice. Looks like they put some effort into it. Who knows? Look at that, free electricity, folks. Come charge your phone here on the side of the street in front of the motel. The only thing they're missing from this part of town is a whole bunch of strip clubs. They don't have any. I saw one off the side, but that was just one. Just a huge building, nothing in it. Looks like no one's been in there a couple years. There's so many vacant storefronts in Reno. It's incredible. So if you decide you want to come to Reno, Nevada, I really wouldn't suggest staying downtown. There's other places, like I'm at the Pepper Mill down the road. I'm probably about 10 minutes away, 15 minutes away. Nicer neighborhood, and sure, it doesn't have casinos right next to each other, but how many people actually go from casino to casino anymore? I mean, we used to do that in Vegas all the time because they're right there. But I'm at the Pepper Mill, I'm staying there. I hear Atlantis is good, there's a couple other ones. But this whole downtown area, yeah, I don't know, give it a couple of years, maybe, making the riverwalk look really nice and maybe doing some other things, it'll be better. But right now, I wouldn't suggest it.
So all in all, I think Reno's doing the right thing. They're not arresting people for, sleeping on the streets or anything like that. They're just telling them you can't do it in this area. And it's sort of a necessity. The Riverwalk is beautiful, and they're trying to get people to come back downtown. And if you got tents everywhere, that's not going to happen. So they didn't disappear all their homeless, they just gave them rules. We all have to follow rules. I can't build an extension onto my neighbor's yard, right? I don't know. I think there's hope for Reno. In the next 10 years or so, they might have a nice, revitalized downtown, and maybe stores won't be empty and people will be coming back to the area. We'll see. All right, everyone. Have a great day. Be nice to each other.